Gentlemen, life can go from this to this. Just like that. Within a year, it really can. A lot of people underestimate how much progress they can achieve within a 12-month stretch of time. And because they don't think it's possible, they carry themselves in this defeatist manner. They think it's too difficult. You need a lot of connections. You need a lot of capital. Meanwhile, there's someone else out there that's come from a situation that's less favorable than yours, yet has done incredible things within 12 months. Because he locked in. He put himself in front of his goal and he said, I'm coming after you. He laser focused on that goal. He didn't come up with any excuse. Now look, is it going to be easy? Fuck no. Nobody said this was going to be easy. It's going to take a different you to get it done. I'm going to say that again. It's going to take a different you to get it done. You can't be the same old Joe Schmo and expect to achieve remarkable things. Expect to be in new places, driving different cars, eating at the highest end restaurants. You can't be doing all this stuff by being the same guy you are now. You have to change into somebody else. That's why we have to always ensure, gentlemen, that we are progressing in life. Self-improvement is a forever thing. It's not a destination. It's not, well, once I get to this level of income, then I'll stop. No. As Earl Nightingale wants to find success, he said it's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Progressive being the key word here. You are progressing at something that you deem worthy. But sure enough, it can be done in 1 year. See, when you've been around people that have been moving so slowly, they rub off on you. You end up being that slow guy too. Slow to take action. Everything's done so slowly. Slow to network, slow to raise capital. Just a slow guy. And then you start making up dumb goals like, well, in 10 years, I want to be. See, people that aren't taking massive action, they always think 10, 20 years. Not that there's anything wrong with thinking ahead and having a rough idea of where you want to be in the future. That's fine. But people that are so focused on getting their goal, they have shorter goals, shorter time frame goals. 1 year. They don't really tend to think beyond a year or 2 years, right? They set a 1 or 2 year goal and they work backwards. What do I need to do this month in order to get closer to that goal? How can I develop? What books can I learn? Who do I need to speak to? And they move with speed. And they believe that it's possible. Look, going from 2K a month to 10K a month is not as huge of a goal as you may believe. Now, of course, it's a massive accomplishment, don't get me wrong. 6 figures anywhere in the world is pretty good money. But when you make it so huge, you disconnect from it. You know, you don't think it's possible because you intimidate yourself away from achieving that goal. But when you say, no, it's piss easy. 10K a month, that's me selling a $50 product 200 times, for example. Whatever it may be, right? Or a $100 product 1,000 times. No, $1,000 product 10 times, sorry. All right? Exactly, $1,000 product. Why am I fucking overthinking this? You get the point here. You break it down into small numbers and you say, right, what do I need to do to get there? Maybe it's just selling one 10K a month product, or one product that's worth 10K every month. I mean, it could be whatever, right? But you break it down into a more digestible goal. And you just tell yourself, well, what do I need to do to get there? Instead of, oh man, it's such a... How you see the goal will determine how rapidly you move towards its attainment. I see it as more than possible. It's absolutely possible. We're not telling you to go to Mars here. We're telling you, think of a way to get to 10K a month. What do you need to do to get there? And I'm just using 10K as just a figure because a lot of people seem to gravitate towards the number 10K. And in most countries around the world, 10K a month is an incredible amount of money to be making, right? So break it down and move with speed and tell yourself this is possible. If you set yourself 1 year to get it done, even if you don't quite hit the 10K, you might hit 5. I mean, that's still a result. 5 on your own terms, for example, 5K a month doing something you love doing is a massive result. And then it could be 2 or 3 months after that you finally hit the 10. So it doesn't matter exactly when you hit it, but when you give yourself a short time frame to achieve it, you move different. You're not sluggish anymore. You're not slow and steady, or hopefully one day in the future. I hear that all the time, man. The hope brigade. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Hopefully one day. Hope is not a strategy. I'm going to say that again. Hope is not a strategy. We're not going to hope our way there. We're going to be deliberate and intentional with our efforts. We are going to do absolutely everything in our power to achieve that goal. Everything in our power, as long as, of course, it's moral, legal, and ethical, right? But we will move at speed in terms of our action. We're not going to sit on an idea for too long. We're not going to research and analyze and no. I don't want any of you guys experiencing paralysis by analysis, because that just means you've sat on the idea for so long. And then what happens when you sit on it for too long is you never do it. It just never materializes. That's what we call the law of diminishing intent. The longer it takes for you to do something, the less likely you are to do it. So you have a rough idea, you give yourself 1 year, I'm going to lock in, I'm going to go all in, 1 year. That's what I'm giving myself. Even though, of course, if it happens in a year and a half, it's not the end of the world, or 2 years for that matter. But just setting that goal in a short time frame makes you move differently. And who knows, you may surprise yourself. It could happen before the 12 months. It could happen at 10 months, 8. You know, ask yourself this question instead of what if it doesn't work out. Ask yourself, what if it does work out? Where could it take me? You know, we always focus on the negative. We always focus on why it won't. Focus on why it will, and tell yourself, I'm going to ensure that it works out. I'm going to do everything in my power. I will not get in my own way. 12 months, gentlemen. Life can go from this to this. 12 months. It really can. You can go from being frustrated, unhealthy, broke, demoralized, heartbroken, to within a year, absolutely hitting the nail on all of those things. You could be in great shape. You could be making great money. You could be in a position where you're dating a great woman. It could all change in 1 year. Lock in. 12 months. Lock in. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.